Today I'm going to show you how to make the best tasting coleslaw recipe. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. You're going to love this coleslaw recipe. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a love-hate relationship with coleslaw. I'm obsessed with coleslaw. I think it's delicious, but sometimes I'll go to a restaurant and get coleslaw and be severely disappointed. And so that's why I say I love-hate, because I want it all the time, but it doesn't always taste so good when you're eating out. So today I'm going to show you how to make the most flavorful coleslaw, and it's super easy to make. You can grab the full recipe, link in the description below, and you can grab it. Okay, let's go make some coleslaw, friends. Now the first thing you're going to need is some coleslaw, some cabbage. We're going to make the slaw. Now if you want to be even lazier, you can buy it pre-shredded at the store. We're going to need 5 cups worth. But if you're going to make it like we are today, I'm going to show you how to cut the cabbage because it can be kind of scary, but it's actually really easy. And we're going to use red and green. You can do any colors. So the first thing we're going to do is just cut this bad boy in half. Oh wait, no, I got to peel off the outside lettuce that's kind of wilted and gross kind of looking. Get rid of that first. Just any of the stuff that might look kind of ugh. Okay. I think one more. This one doesn't look so great. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to cut him in half right through that stem. It looks scary, but see how easy that was? And then we're going to cut them in half lengthwise again. So here's the stem. I'm going to cut it this way again. Now it's really easy to cut that stem out. So this part on the stem is actually it's hard to eat. It will not be good in coleslaw. So we're going to lay it on its side and use my knife to cut it at a diagonal for it to come right out. Okay, see how easy that is? I wanted to show it to you up close. So see, I've quartered it, and here's the stem. You lay it on its side, and you take your knife at an angle, okay, and cut that stem right out. Now you just want to make sure, because you can trim this up if there's any left over, but I got it all in the first try. Then you're just going to run your knife into thin strips. You want to be as thin as you can. You can also use a mandolin slicer, so you get these little pretty thin strips. I think I might go this way now. It doesn't really matter how you slice it, as long as you're going thin to get you that coleslaw feel. You know, because if they're really thick, it's not going to be, you know, what you're used to. But see how it's falling right apart. So this is going to be the most time consuming, but it's really not. Now, if you use a mandolin slicer, it's going to go by super quick. And I'd actually prefer that, but my mandolin slicer broke, and I keep forgetting to replace it. I think I'll go ahead and put a link for a mandolin slicer in there for you guys, the one I'm going to buy. So that way it'll be even easier for you guys too. And then if you have some pieces that are too big, you can just rip them and break them. Now I'm just going to use a big measuring cup. We need about 5 cups. If you go heavier, you're going to need to, you know, increase your dressing. And this is a lot of cabbage. So I have this one I'm going to do as well. So I'm going to do about 4 cups of this and then a cup of that. But you can do whatever you want, you know. Nobody's gonna be in your kitchen judging you. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Then we're gonna cut the purple one. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Remove any of the crazy leaves. Come on, there we go. Did not want to come off. Anything that just looks bad and crusty. Now this recipe, now I don't know if you know this, but on Eating on a Dime, we have this really cool feature where you can double a recipe or triple a recipe. So that's great. Like if you're cooking for a barbecue or a gathering, you can easily triple this. And what I always tell people who don't like cabbage, if we make some slaw and people don't usually like it, I'm like, hey, just give it a try. It tastes better than what you'd get at a store. So if you do make it and you have some people, you're like, just give it a quick try. But I'm going to do the exact same thing I did last time. The stems are a lot smaller on this one because it's smaller. But again, I'm just cutting it in quarters. And then just cutting out that stem right there. Get that last one cut out. And then we're going to get right to cutting it up. You want to try to go as tiny as you can, or as thin as you can is what I meant. So you want a nice sharp knife. We also included a link for my favorite knife, and you can sharpen it really easily. Okay, let's see how this did. Right into there, just a little bit more. So I'm just going super thin. I wish I had that mandolin slicer now, right? But again, if you want to be super lazy, I mean, you can buy the pre-shredded coleslaw. You're just going to want at least 5 cups worth. So you're going to need to buy a couple bags. Okay. Now we're going to chop up some green onions. The first thing, I line them up. I peeled off any of the sides that were kind of gross. I like to cut off the very edge, move that aside, and then I just run my knife through it all together. We need about 1/3 of a cup. Drop those in, and it really doesn't matter how small or how big, you know, it's just whatever you like in your coleslaw. And then you're going to need a cup of shredded carrots. I just bought pre-shredded carrots, but you can shred them yourself if you want to. Now we just have a large bowl. I'm going to add some mayonnaise. We have about 1/3 of a cup, so it's not a ton, so it's not going to be, I don't like a coleslaw that has a ton of mayonnaise in it. Then we have some Dijon mustard. There we go. Got some on my hands. Let me rinse that off real quick. Some apple cider vinegar. And then some salt and pepper. And this is our dressing. So then we're just going to mix this together. If you kind of have trouble, I'm just using a spatula. You can bust out your whisk. But it's coming together perfectly, just like this. Okay, now that that's done, then we're going to add in our cabbage, carrots, and onions. Get it all tossed in. Carrots and my onions. And then we're just going to mix this all together to get that dressing on everything. So it's going to take a bit, but see how, like, I had one go overboard. That's why you want a nice big bowl. And you can see it's coming along. Everything is getting coated in that dressing. Now, when you make that dressing, you're going to think that it's not going to coat it all, and it will. Especially because as you're coating that dressing, you know, it kind of comes together. It's not all, you know, it kind of sticks together and becomes smaller. Okay, now it's ready. Ready to eat. That's how easy it is, guys. It's ready to serve. You don't have to put it in the fridge. You can. So this will store in your refrigerator for at least 5 days. I've heard it'll last even longer, but I'm going to tell you 5 days. Just make sure it's covered. So it's great because you can make a big batch and you can just eat on it all week long. We were just talking about like the benefits of cabbage. I don't know if the spatula was a smart idea to scoop this in, but the benefits of cabbage and carrots and everything. So, and there's not a ton of mayo in it. So it's a great little salad to eat on all week long. So don't just save it for barbecues and summer parties. It's super easy to make all year long. And look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. Now I just got to grab a fork. And my favorite part is take a bite. Okay, now it's time for my favorite part. I've already started munching on it, so I apologize. I should have done it on camera. It's really good, though. I probably shouldn't just be eating straight out of the bowl, but here we are. It's so good. 10 out of 10. Very easy to make. Very easy to adjust it to what your family likes. And this isn't a huge serving, so you could easily triple, quadruple this recipe to feed a crowd. Now, don't forget, you can grab the full recipe linked in the description. Sorry, I feel like I have stuff all over my face because coleslaw is not the best. It's not very attractive to eat, or at least not when I do it. But you can get the full recipe linked in the description below. And also, if you love today's recipe, I would love it if you liked and subscribe. We have hit over 100,000 subscribers now, so we're super pumped, and we want you to hang around. Now, we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below, And also, once you make this, please go to the actual website, eatingonadime.com, and leave a review. That's our number one way that we love hearing from you, is by leaving a review and a comment, and that tells us what you liked, what you did differently, and it helps other people. So anytime you visit any of our sites, go ahead and scroll down or click on the reviews, and you can see what other people did differently just to make it their own. So it's great to always check the reviews when you're making a recipe. Okay, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen for another easy but delicious family-friendly recipe. Bye.